And welcome to The Escape. Tonight we are doing a special hot take edition. Wait, I did that wrong. Hot take edition of The Escape for Book of Boba Fett.
Season finale.
Season finale. So we literally just got done watching it. Adam, I'll let you go first. What first thing that comes to your head about what we just witnessed here?
This is the good stuff that happens when little kids who played Star Wars grow up to be writers. This is how it works. This is how it's meant to be. Um, First of all, let me say that I have so much to say.
So
You go. I have so
let's
much to
start
say.
off. So good, bad, indifferent. How'd you feel?
Great,
Loved it? Did you love it?
awesome,
Okay.
awesome. In fact, it was the means. Everything else was a means to that end. And now I truly like the whole damn season of Book of Boba Fett, because now, well, like he says, we're smarter than they are. We need to be running the show. I don't want to be a bounty hunter anymore. And then we get to this episode, and he's fighting for his people. He's fighting for a home. He doesn't have a home, so this is his home now, and he's fighting for it. And wow, it was just spectacular. It really was.
All right, my turn. I didn't like
Wow, why not?
it. I thought it was such a build up from the previous two episodes. It felt rushed. It felt a little like they set up so much in the last two episodes. And then you kind of have this where it's like, okay, well, we find out what the answer for Grogu. Well, that was easy because one, he shows up with Luke's X-wing. It's like, okay, did Luke give him the X-wing? Did he steal the
No,
X-wing with R2, or like because they're like, well, obviously the astromech, flew it. I was like, yeah, but like, I still don't understand like why Luke didn't take him, or so I'm slightly confused on that part. Um, but just a lot of stuff. I thought it seemed kind of rushed to me, and there was just like I said, from all the answers or all the questions that they set up in the last episode, especially they were answered, but they were kind of answered awkwardly or haphazardly or just very glossed over. Like he shows up and he's got his chainmail. Be like, okay, like so we're just gonna leave the drama from that decision completely out of the equation. Like we have no Luke in this episode. We have uh Grogu once again getting back to the Mandalorian where he helps out sometimes, but at the same time it's like it felt like another episode of Mandalorian where I'm just like it's some of the things I just feel is a letdown. So that's where I'm at. So
okay, I could tell you why I don't feel that there are any unanswered questions. To be fair, this was episode 7 of the Book of Boba Fett. In real life, it was episode 5 of the Book of Boba Fett,
right,
or 5.5,
right.
because everything with the Mandalorian was just a precursor to introduce you to the third season. It was like a backdoor introduction to the third season, which I liked. I'm not sure there should be too much drama with him choosing to go with Jindarin over staying with Luke Skywalker. Um, I'm trying to be cool about this, and I don't want to insult anybody out there. I wouldn't mind if they changed canon and had Luke Skywalker's head chopped off, um, at all, because I saw the greatest Star Wars trilogy that ever existed and is ever going to exist, and I saw the worst Star Wars trilogy. There are things I liked about the third one, just things I liked. I did like Force Awakens for the most part, and then the Last Jedi was just a mosh podge of. It was a mosh podge. It shouldn't have been a mosh podge. So I think all the other questions that they bring up with what you call it, the Mandalorian season 3, those are just going to be answered in season 3.
Right.
But you take Book of Boba Fett episodes 1 through 4, you get his relationship with the Tuskens. You get that, that was his first home after being swallowed by the Sarlacc.
Sure.
And so now he finds another home, and after he makes an ally with the Jindarin, and so now we're in that story.
Right.
So we're out of the Mandalorian story. Now we're in that story, and because
I see you, Danny. We got Danny and my buddy Danny in the chat. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Danny? Thanks for joining us. So that's where I'm at with it. So I think the one part I can agree with you about it being rushed is that there should have been one more episode.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, that's it. Like, if they'd have and that's where I get into where there was just so much in that last episode. It was all, and I'm watching. I was like, it's almost too much. You have too much going on to this episode, especially to put it all on one last episode for a season finale. Where that should have been a 2-parter. I mean, they literally had, like, you knew the war was brewing, like the war had started. And first of all, so this is where I started to get really irritated. Okay,
I know where you're going with this.
I don't want any of these people making military decisions for me ever. These people are freaking morons. Like, Shad's like, oh, I got this all set up. We're taken care of on all flanks. So, like, you've got 4 people out there against an army that's potentially coming. Oh, and by the way, you didn't think to get, they wanted the people from Freedom Town to help out, but maybe the people who are in the towns, maybe talk to those guys to make sure those guys don't turn on you, which is what happened. So you literally had entire towns going against the 1 Wookiee they got, the 2 Gamorrean guards they got, and the 5 Power Rangers they got going. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, for the love of God. And not to mention, you're going to war, no one brings grenades or anything. They're all just behind walls like an Old West shootout, like pew, pew, pew. And I'm like, how long are we just going to sit behind walls and shoot at each other like it's the Civil War?
How about that jetpack scene, though, where they're flying?
That was sweet. That was cool. Sweet. But that's the whole, like, where has that been, like, all season? Because they called that stuff out in the first episode where, he gets surrounded with these guys with shields, and you've got a jetpack, fly above them, Why wait until it's like the season finale? I mean, don't get me wrong, it was sweet, and I really liked seeing, Din Djarin and Boba Fett fighting back to back, like, and he even calls up, he even basically calls him a, yeah, you little religious nut, you believe in all that bantha fodder. He's like, I do believe in that stuff.
I do.
And and he's like, all right, cool, like, at least you're on my side. But it's just like, some of that was cool, but at the same time, I'm like, there was just so much unnecessary stuff, like the whole scene with writing the thing out in the tablets. Here's I'm gonna go out and send the guy out with the tablet. It's like, dude, like, you know what Boba Fett should have done while those guys were walking up? Shoot them while they're walking up. Don't sit there and be like, I'm gonna wait for them to get to cover, and then I'm gonna send this guy out, and then say we're not surrendering. Like, there's just so much stuff where I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we wasting time doing this? Like, we know the guy's annoying. Why is he still alive? Can we kill him now, please?
No, he's got to hook up with the annoying lady. She has thinks she has nice tails.
Yeah, can we? Yeah, we reference that 3 times this episode. We get it. Twi'leks have long antenna things.
Maybe cut back on that there monster there, Nick.
No, I need this. Because this wasn't going to happen unless I did. So
I think they wrapped up the season neatly. I'm not sure about too much going on in the episode.
Yeah.
I was happy to see Grogu just walk out, and I loved when this is where I went, okay, good. I'm glad they did that. Because I was like, come on, Grogu, you've been training with Luke. Crush that fucking droid.
And I'll tell
and
you,
he just ripped a part out of it.
and that's the thing, dude, I was waiting for him to like walk up, and he kind of had his arm out. I was really expecting him like for like Jedi's or Yoda's lightsaber to pop into his hand. I'd have been like, that'd have been badass. And I'm like, oh no, he pulls a bolt out. And Danny, I'm not sure Cad Bane's dead. I know he got stabbed, but you notice like as he's laying on the ground, you hear the boop, boop.
I heard that.
So I think he's still up. And if they, for as much stuff as I talking up Cad Bane, if they kill him in 2 episodes, I'm gonna be very upset.
I thought of you when that happened. I was like, what?
I was like, literally all morning in the last 2 days, I've been talking up Cad Bane. I was like, please don't kill Cad Bane this episode.
I was like, that puts a nice little bow on it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have his action figure yet. You can't kill him.
What did you like about it?
I did like the fight scene with. Okay, here's the thing. So they have this sanctuary that they don't use as a sanctuary. They fight in front of the sanctuary. And I'm just like, you people are like the worst military strategists I've ever seen. Like, it's called cover. Get behind something. Do me a favor. Like, they're like, oh, this is where we stand. This is where we fight. Be like, stay inside it then. Don't sit here and fight, get shot to crap out there, getting just blasted away by everything. And it seemed like at one point, it honestly just seemed like a video game where it's like, you shoot a guy up there and then you shoot another guy. What do you know? There's another guy in the same exact spot. I'm like, this reminds me of a video game.
Well, that reminds me of it reminded me of a Western. That's what they did in Westerns, especially the spaghetti ones.
It was like after a few, but like it kept happening. Like every time you're like, oh, I shot that guy. Be like, nope, there's another guy popped up in the same spot. I'm like, can we shoot the guys in the balcony, please? Can we shoot the guys who have higher, elevated points of attack on us? Because I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like it got very video game. It's just like, oh, they're not stopping. I was like, there's like 25 guys. Come on, like.
What did you like?
Okay, so I did like I said, I like the Din Djarin and Boba Fett actually having an actual relationship and actually bonding as Mandalorian and actually trying, to form. The fighting scene was cool, and then but after a while, like they eventually just getting shot to crap because they're in the middle of the street. I'm like, would you go get behind something for 5 seconds to recharge?
But that Beskar's badass, man.
Well, that's the thing. Beskar's badass, but it's like, hey, if you don't take cover and just keep letting them shoot you, it only works so well.
They were pinned down either way.
Yeah, no, but I'm just like, okay, but can we not fight in the middle of the street? Everybody else has taken cover except for you two. All right, Danny, what do you say? That's what I was thinking about Cad Bane. We were just talking about how he fought 2 Jedi and lived. That's what I was saying. I've literally been that's what we were talking this morning. I had coffee with my buddy Danny this morning. We were talking. I was like talking up Cad Bane, where he's literally taken on Jedi. He took on Kenobi and survived, and then like, oh, Boba Fett like beats him with a stick and dies. It was like, that better not be.
Well, Boba Fett fought him dirty.
He did fight him dirty, and it was and that was another thing I did like. They did eventually do the duel, because that's like one of those lost scenes in the Clone Wars cartoon. Is it was always, who gave Boba Fett the dent in his helmet. Well, in this lost scene, it was supposed to be Cad Bane, and this was kind of a little bit of a harkening back to that, where actually in the duel he beats him. He beats him, straight up. But like I said, and then he does a little bit dirty tricks on him, and ends up getting the best of, and well, not the best. He stabs him with his Tusken Raider stick. I don't know the name of it, but
well, yeah, I was expecting. Well, what I was expecting was Din Djarin to come by and shoot him, or the Rancor to show up out of nowhere and eat him. But no, he pulled some like in Rocky V, where they were fighting in the street with Tommy Gunn. And like Rocky's fucking doing sweeps and shit.
Touch me and I'll soup. But
sue me for what? But remember, like Rocky was like, we're not boxing.
Right.
We're not boxing
This
out
is
here.
street fighting, baby.
Yeah, he took his legs out and all that kind of shit.
That's that
Now
is one of
that's
my
where
that's one of my favorite scenes. It's like where he goes to run by and he like stops him and he trips him with his legs. I was like, ah, that's so good.
it
It's
is.
it's one it's one of the least good of the Rocky movies, but that fight scene is one of the best. Is one of the better scenes in the Rocky movie. So you can fight me, you can hate me on that one, but
I
I
agree
love
with,
that fight scene.
and that's what I was reminded of when I saw this, because I was like, all right, where's the Mandalorian? All right, where's the Rancor? I was like, oh, Rocky Five, you know, So I was happy to see him fight him dirty like that, because I thought he was done. I thought he was done for. I was like, okay. And again, I was thinking about how much you painted the guy up, which you were right to. You were right to. He was a badass.
Yes, if you want to see Cad Bane in all his glory, go check out the Clone Trooper or the Clone Wars series. That's all Filoni stuff, and like I said, that's the stuff where some people, give Dave Filoni crap because he makes his own canon, but when you're given literally an entire however long the Clone Wars lasts, sorry, I don't know exactly how long the Clone Wars lasts, but uh, you get to throw in your own things when you're one of the creative minds behind, Star Wars going forward. You get to play with canon a little bit. So
Well, yeah, and it's still all make believe anyway, And people have done shit jobs with it, and people have done great jobs with it. Not just Star Wars, Star Trek,
DC,
um, Marvel. You know what I mean?
Western comic books,
Yeah, anything we've ever made. You know what I
which
mean? People.
which is one of the reasons we do this show because we're sick and tired of it and we're calling it out. So we're calling out the good, we're calling out the bad, we call it out everything in between.
Or you have
And
the facts of life.
huh? The
Sorry,
facts
reminded me of
the facts of life. That's what we do here.
yeah.
That's what this is about. So
You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have.
the facts of life.
That's the time you gotta go and show you're growing now. You know about the facts of life.
What's the
Anyway,
I would say are we moving on up
for the
to
Jeffersons,
side?
that's a great song though.
Oh yeah.
You can clap to it and all that stuff. I mean, I guess I don't think the Facts of Life is a good song. I think it's just annoying.
Yeah. Anyway.
But
Anyway,
Different
getting back
Strokes
to
has a great song. Oh yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah. Let's not go too far off topic. But clearly the highlight of the show is either you love it or you think it's a tad hokey. I'm on the tad hokey. Boba Fett's like, I'll be right back.
Oh, that's the first. That's the only part that made me go, yeah. You know what I mean? Except for the Rocky 5 part.
Well,
but
and here's the other thing too, because you see, and this is where I started to lose faith a little bit because Bank starts taking off. She starts, helping out the Power Rangers, getting them.
See, I keep calling them the neutrinos.
I see that someone called the referred to their scooters as the Power Rangers, so now I just call them the Power Rangers.
It's funny, but they're both right.
The mods. Sorry. So she goes to help the mods out, and then she just kind of disappears. And so and then Boba Fett's like, 1 second, I'll be right back. So you hear and that was because so the people from Freedom Town showed up, they helped out, the mods show up, so they actually have a good they've got cover now. The Mandalorians have cover now. Thank you, because the Freedom Town guys showed up in their ship, and then the mods show up, and I love the one mod shows up for 4 seconds, and then they shoot a scooter out from underneath. I was like,
I was like,
oh, sorry, buddy.
What?
And could they give him better? Could they give the mods better looking blasters? Like I always assumed everybody was walking around with a blaster like Han, and not these little pea shooters that the mods have. I'm like, what are you doing with that? Unless Han's blaster is like the Colt 45 of Star Wars or whatever, but I was just like, what are these pea shooters that they're trying to do here? But
Were you disappointed there was no Harrison Ford in this?
No, no. Harrison Ford can stay far away.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree, and I think what's the Wookiee's? Anyways, that Wookiee he took a beating, man.
yeah, well, I say he had his electric knuckles. Was it Santo or
Santo?
Santo?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Santo.
Santo. So they kind of hold their own, and then these big, or they call them Scorpionex things show up. They're like
I don't know, but they were wicked.
they were like prequel era with the shield generators and everything, and so they were done for. And then they eventually split up. They make the Scorpionexes split up through towns. So, and then you hear this, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I was like, what is that? I was like, wait a second. And then you get Boba Fett riding a Rancor through the town.
Heavy metal. Heavy metal right there. That is exactly. I'm going to go get reinforcements. From who? You're out of friends.
From Danny Trejo.
Exactly. And it all made sense. That totally made sense, because why the fuck would there be a Rancor keeper if you couldn't not tame him, but if he wasn't like a horse or a bull?
I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot about the Rancor.
Well, I did too, and I'm glad I did, because that helped out with the surprise. Now you brought up Hokey. Okay, with the Rancor when he got out of control and stuff, and they were shooting at him.
Oh, the King Kong moment.
I think they could have done without the King Kong moment.
That
was just them going, let's play.
All they needed was him to grab some random blonde girl and be like, argh.
Right. I think they were trying to show a little bit of gayness with the other two girls too. Probably, I mean, the way they were looking at each other,
they totally checked the box for they had their strong females. Don't worry, guys. They checked the box for that one.
Well, they had Fennec the whole time.
Well, that's the other thing. Fennec's like at the beginning, because Cad Bane wanted to duel Boba Fett earlier, and he's like, "No, I can get him. I can." And she's like, "No, it's not your time." Be like, "Bitch, shut up! Like let Boba Fett fight." And Capen's like, "No, it's not your time." And it didn't matter because he still lost. So
right.
It's like, Fennec, Ming Na win. Shut up, Ming Na win. It's not the time. Stop telling Boba Fett what to do.
Dang.
Sorry.
You met her, right? I mean, gee whiz, man.
I had my picture taken with her through a piece of glass in between us. Which, by the way, Motor City Comic Con, Shatner's going to be there in a couple months. That's announced. My wife already sent me the message, which means I think we have to go meet Shatner this year.
Yeah, I think we gotta go. All right.
Well, I mean, we were going anyway, but yeah. So, but Ming Na win, very nice. Fennec, stop telling Boba Fett what to do and let Boba Fett fight who he wants to fight. Even though he ended up not winning the fight anyway, or the duel anyway. But anyway,
I actually like that part, because she didn't want to see him go into battle all hot-headed. If Cad Bane would have killed him right then and there, then that would have been a wrap. I mean, I would have had to go off world. They were only staying because Boba Fett wanted to stay.
No, and the only reason I'm frustrated with that, because she did that like all season. Like, I know she was kind of supposed to be like his conscience and kind of feel like, okay, I mean, now why? Like, he used her as like a counsel and like a sounding board, but I was just like, stop telling Boba Fett what to do. Let Boba Fett be Boba Fett and kill something. All I want.
Okay.
So yeah, that's just where I was at. So yeah, and once again, for this big battle, I thought it was a boring battle. Like I said, they literally just sat behind walls, and I mean, until the Rancor showed up, then I was like, oh, okay, cool. And finally, they get through the shields. Din Djarin gets to use his Darksaber. Grogu grabs a bolt out of one. I was like, oh, it's gonna like rip it apart and smash. He's like, nope, just
I'm glad he didn't do that, though. I'm glad he didn't. I wanted I wanted that too. But when I saw the bolt come out, I was like, all right, yeah, I'll buy that. I was just excited. Okay.
Well, and I think it was just like, you've been training with Luke. Let's see what you got, buddy. Still not a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Or the other thing I wanted to see like the dark saber fly out of Din Djarin's hand, and then Grogu goes. But
No, I kind of wanted to see that too.
but
I kind of thought that might happen.
um but so yeah, so they finally can start taking down the Scorpion X droids, and that's kind of, oh, and that was the other thing too. Like I was like, they kept trying to shoot Boba on the Rancor. I was like, why isn't the thing just shooting the Rancor? And then he finally shoots the Rancor. He's like, like I was like, yeah, like shoot the giant beast. Don't try and shoot the little thing on top of the beast. So there was just like, it might be nitpicky, but I think it was just one of those things where I just thought there was so much in, like I said, in episodes 5 and 6, that I was really hoping to go out on a higher note, and even at the end of the episode when it's just him and Grogu and Din Djarin are flying, I was like, haven't we done this? Like, are people still wanting to see this? Do they still want to see the single dad with the kid?
I do.
I don't know.
I do not. Well, here's the thing. This is why I want to see. I knew, like I said this before on last night's show. I knew I wanted to see that, right?
Right.
But I was like, how the hell? Like, if you'd have showed me episode 5 as the first episode of The Mandalorian season 3, I'd have been like, bullshit.
Right.
But you showed it to me now. And now I got time to wait and get excited about it. And I know what happened. And maybe there's some Shadows of the Empire stuff. I don't mean literally Shadows of the Empire, but stuff happened in between, like from now to the time episode 1 starts. And I'm cool with that. But I think they found a really good way to launch season 3. I really do. Now, back to what you were saying, is if wanting more from episode 5 and 6, which we discussed, is this season was 5 episodes long, and the other 2 were just filler. Precursors to the other. Well, they weren't filler; they were precursors.
Not filler, but yeah, it's almost, yeah. It
was 2 different shows.
Yes.
So I do understand what you mean by, if we wanted all that, we had to go another 3 or 4 episodes. We'd have to. There's no way you could answer all the questions that you're looking for right now by episode 7.
No, but that's the thing too, because that's why I said they set up almost too much. Where, what happened with Ahsoka? Where did she take off to? Is she gonna keep? Is there gonna be contact with her and Din Djarin? Is Din Djarin and Grogu gonna help her go find Grand Admiral Thrawn and what's the kid's name? The kid from Rebels. Sorry, forgetting his name. But
Jake?
No, not Jake. Jake from State Farm. But
I didn't think of that. Anyway.
There's just too many things where, and it's just like you had Luke there, and what's going on with Luke? I don't know. like you had this, like I said, you had this super dramatic big moment set up, and you're just like, chainmail. It's like, okay, like, no, how did that affect Luke? How is his relationship with Grogu? Like, is there gonna be animosity if Din Djarin and Grogu run into Luke later? Or there's just so many unanswered questions.
He shouldn't have animosity. He gave him the choice. He gave him the choice, and then at the same time, Luke's still got a nephew to murder.
Don't even. Don't even. Even Mark Hamill said that's the dumbest thing. Luke would never, like, Luke is the most open-minded, glass half full, I can save the baddest man on the galaxy, but no, I'm going to kill my freaking nephew because he's a jerk. Give me a freaking break.
I agree with you. That's fucking stupid. And first of all, let's let's deconstruct
And
that whole plot
then
point
I'm
real
gonna be
quick.
a freaking hermit because my nephew's a jerk.
Well, let's look at it like this. I mean, didn't you just try to solve your problem through murder? And therefore, aren't you in fact a Sith for that? Like,
Well,
didn't you just basically give in to the dark side?
yes, yes.
You gave into fear.
You gave in to fear, and not only did you give in to fear, you gave up on hope, and you said, you know what, gonna kill him. That's the best option.
Yeah.
And not through like combat, and not like no, I'm gonna kill him in his sleep.
Yeah, yeah, really. You could have sent him home.
That's the thing. Like, hey, Han, come pick your kid up. He's a psycho. What are you doing?
What the fuck do you explain that at Thanksgiving?
Yeah, like
I
sorry,
killed him.
sorry, Leia. Sorry, I killed your kid. Oh wait, no, he's still alive, and he's a freaking Knights of Ren now. And by the way, we're never gonna explain what the Knights of Ren are. By the way, even though they look cool standing in the corner.
And they never acknowledge like, or actually like Leia is like always like, Luke has his reasons, and my marriage got ruined, and you know what I mean? It's like
Han's a
no.
deadbeat. Oh, F you guys.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so yeah, therefore that version in that multiverse,
yeah, it's
is
still open. You still have Luke where he's gonna kill his nephew. Mind you, he never gave up on Darth Vader. No, but he gave up on his nephew.
Yeah, and that's where I sit there and say, yeah, you can fuck with canon because some people did screw it up. You know what I mean?
Well,
I liked Ray.
And
I liked
Abrams,
Ray.
when J.J. Abrams literally comes out after everything's said and done, be like, yeah, we really didn't have a plan. We should have had a better plan. No crap, JJ. No crap. You should have had a plan. When you got to spend half of the third movie retconning everything, having to retcon the movie before because the other guy screwed it up so bad.
Now, you just spoke of a plan, and you blew my mind there for a minute before we got off on that tangent. You're like, Ahsoka. Well, what's going to happen with her? And then are they going to help her? Yeah. My answer to your question right there is yeah, because she's going to have her own show.
Yeah.
And if they put Din Djarin and Grogu in to the Book of Boba Fett, they should put it in. It would make sense if their next adventure was with her or something like that. I mean, hell, this isn't the same timeline as Obi-Wan. We can see that too.
Well, that's the thing. And like I said, with those 2 episodes, they really just set up too much, and there was no way they were going to deliver. There was no way they were going to deliver on this season finale. There was no chance. Sorry.
That's okay, but I'm sorry because I'm interrupting you because I'm like, what if it's Obi-Wan who helps him with the dark saber?
Well,
and what if it's Obi-Wan that like kind of helps finish the training with Grogu?
Well, here's the thing. So the next show on the docket was actually just announced today. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Ewoks?
Oh, you would like that, wouldn't you?
No, I wouldn't.
All right. So,
but I would say that Ewoks are vicious killers.
They are vicious. So,
they're fucking bears.
Screen Rant. So, okay. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi poster reveals first look at Ewan McGregor's return. Like I said, this is courtesy of Screen Rant. So, this is Ewan McGregor's Star Wars return to Disney Plus. Here's the first poster. Blah 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 blah. Obviously, A New Hope, 1977. I think it announces. Yeah, so after the announcement that Obi-Wan Kenobi will debut on Disney Plus on May 25th, 2022, Disney and Lucasfilm released the first poster for the series. So that's the poster, and it will be on Disney Plus at the end of May. So
that's awesome. That's right around Comic-Con time.
So the only problem is I don't believe this timeline lines up with the current timeline because this is in between prequel and original series, and everything that we've got is post, obviously post.
Wait a minute. Why? Oh yeah, because Obi-Wan's dead. Duh.
Yeah, because this is younger Obi-Wan, so this is
Yep, you're right. My
this
bad.
is in between prequel and so this is in between uh Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. So
Yeah, I know. I just it slipped my mind.
so but
Yeah, slipped my mind. Which one's the poster? I got a bunch of different pictures up here.
so just it's basically him just in the desert.
Standing with two sons.
Yes. Yep,
Okay.
that's the poster. So
Impressive.
so that's
There.
next as far as the uh Disney Plus Star Wars. That's next. So and then I think was it Mando, I think is the next their next season of Mando is supposed to be airing at the end of the year. So
I feel like a doorknob for saying that. Like I know
right.
my Star Wars, like at least that
But it's
much.
just like, hey, wouldn't you want to keep this train a rolling? Like let's we're kind of in a groove here. Let's keep this storyline going. No. No, no, no. We're going to go back with Kenobi and we're going to have him fight Darth Vader again for some reason. So,
They keep starving us anyway.
I know.
I mean, they end Mandalorian season one. They're like, "See you next Christmas,"
Like, oh,
and they end that one. They're like,
you bastards.
I mean, that one, we're like, "We're not coming back." Book of Boba Fett, and everybody's going around, "Yeah, Book of Boba Fett." There's going to be a Mandalorian season 3, right? Mm-hmm.
No, we're going to let our star go and star in another movie or TV show because that's smart. Come on, Disney. Like, no, no, like, because that's the thing. Like, well, that's the thing I don't understand because Marvel always like, oh, you want to be in a Marvel movie? Okay, well, plan to not do anything with the rest for the next 10 years of your life.
Right.
We own you for 10 years, basically. Disney Lucasfilm is like, oh yeah, no, go do other projects. It's cool.
Well, it's television, though, and they're on their own streaming season. At least they're not doing 22 episodes.
No, they do 7 or 5, depending on who you believe.
Right.
But it's just
Or 5, depending on who
like,
you believe. You believe me or believe
who do you
Nick?
believe? Do you believe that they just were like holy crap, we're in a bunch of crap. Like break it, break glass, bring out the Mandalorian.
No, I think that was totally planned. I believe that was planned because how the hell, if you'd, like I said, if you'd have given us that episode where he goes and sees Luke and all that kind of stuff, training Grogu, we'd all been like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one of those things that I don't think will ever be officially answered anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
So, like, let's recast Luke. And
oh, they did. They did recast Luke.
when?
Very recently. Let me see.
We just talked about it
Well,
yesterday.
that's the thing. I because I thought I saw it in the news, and let me see.
I hope it's The Rock.
Oh,
Look on your face.
I'm not happy with The Rock. I just
That
the
was the whole punchline.
the whole. I know that's the joke. I know, but at the same time, I'm like, God, the guy's starting to irritate me. So I am on right now. Total Film. New Luke Skywalker actor says his Book of Boba Fett debut was unimaginably moving. So, new Luke Skywalker actor Graham Hamilton. I think it's the same guy that they used for the end of Mandalorian.
So
Season
he's
two.
like a David Prowse to digital animation.
Essentially, yeah. So, well, let me pull this up. All right, so New Luke Skywalker actor Graham Hamilton has spoken at length about his debut in the Book of Boba Fett and working with Hamilton, the Luke Skywalker performance artist, as as Lucasfilm describes it in the Book of Boba Fett's credits. Took to Instagram to pay tribute to the team behind. So this isn't really him taking over because the way they were saying like, oh, like he's done, we're gonna do all that, but no, this guy's just a performance actor, so they haven't really recast Luke yet. Because I was like, because I saw that in the news, I was like, if Mark Hamill's officially retiring from Star Wars, like it'd be everywhere. So yeah, that guy, just the performance artist. So
Understood.
and not and he did a great job. I'll say that. Not knocking the
Yeah,
guy, but
I'm not knocking him either. He did great. He did great. The effects they used, they did great on that too.
yeah, and like I said, we covered this in the last one. The the deep faking that they did for Luke was so much better than uh the end of season 2 of Mandalorian, where there was like you really had to go into the uncanny valley to be like, okay, that's Luke. Uh huh. Uh huh.
Sure
Sure.
was.
Sure. Sure was Luke, wasn't it, guys?
We're just happy we got it though.
Dude, that's still one of the best damn scenes in Star Wars. I don't care. Fight me.
That is one of the best scenes in Star Wars, and when Vader fights in Rogue One.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and that's the other thing. Damn it, I meant to look that up for you.
Dial soap is the kind of soap you want to
All right.
use.
So Star Wars Scene 38 reimagined. That's the thing we were talking about last time. I forgot to pull it up. And so, can you pull that up like on your phone or something real quick? Take a look at it.
I can pull it up right here.
All right. So
You
yeah.
I just want to see you for a minute.
Okay.
All right. So Star Wars, what's it called? Scene 38
Scene
reimagined?
38 reimagined.
All right. Scene 38. Okay, I'm clicking on it right now. Whoa.
So this is how the scene should have been after Rogue One.
Okay.
So, and I forget the name of the company that did it.
Man, Vader's so imposing.
What's it? Scene 38 Reimagined is about the final confrontation between Ben Kenobi.
I can't hear you, Nick. The Star Wars is playing, just so you know.
Oh, it's fine. I'm just reading the description. So, Ben Kenobi and Darth Vader in A New Hope.
What the fuck?
Nearly 20 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith, this is a one-off story-driven scene reflecting the characters in its chronological order from the point of Revenge of the Sith through Rebels, Rogue One, and all canon material leading to A New Hope. So, they did a great job. The top cast. So Richard Citrone is Darth Vader, and Dan Brown plays Obi-Wan Kenobi. It is directed by Philip J. Silvera. So, yeah, they did a phenomenal job, and just I wish they would ILM would take that, clean it up just a little bit, and then just put that in one of the future Star Wars, because that thing's badass.
Oh my god.
So, but that's how the fight should have been, right? So Adam's currently watching it for the first time. So it's almost like live reaction of Adam seeing it for the first time. So, and if you haven't seen it, it's Scene 38 Reimagined, and it's about 6 minutes. So I'm not sure if Adam's going to do watch the whole thing or not, but he looks pretty intrigued. So we're just going to let him go.
This is fantastic.
Right? Oh, Phillips Berry, he's a stunt coordinator. He's a stunt man, and he's worked on Daredevil, Deadpool, Terminator, Pacific Rim. Good for you. So some of those stunt guys do an amazing job as directors. God is a bullet. That sounds intriguing. The Man from Toronto, not as intriguing. We worked on Love, Death, and Robots. That's a fun show. The Punisher, Blind Spot, The Gunman. So,
Holy
once again, this is Adam watching Scene 38 redone for the first time. So,
this is nuts.
So once again, I'm Nick, and this is Adam, and this is the Escape podcast. We just got done watching chapter 7 of Book of Boba Fett, the season review, and Adam liked it more than I did. I thought it was a little. It wasn't a great landing. Some people were saying, "Oh, they stuck the landing." I was just like, "Man, I didn't agree so much." I thought they just set up far too much with chapter 6, and therefore there was really no way to really fill in all those gaps that they had brought in, because they brought in Ahsoka Tano, they brought in Luke, and they brought in so many elements from the Filoni verse into one episode. It was kind of like there was no way that they were really gonna, especially in a 1 hour episode, there was no way they were going to tie all those loose ends. Not that they needed to be tied up. So, but I just thought it was one of those things where I think they set up far too much, and it was almost it was too much, really, for a season to put on a season finale. So are you there? Are you back? Oh, okay, still watching. So. So
I trust I don't have to watch it much after the death of Obi-Wan.
No.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, and if you like what we're doing, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube, because that's how it works. If the more like and subscribers we get, the more we can do with the show. So appreciate everybody who has liked and subscribed so far. But if you like what we're doing, tell your friends, and like I said, give a like and subscribe, and even maybe share. So we are also on social media. We are on the Escape Podcast on Facebook, and we are on Instagram at the _Escape _podcast. So
Adam, we can't end the show now.
No,
we got to do a whole nother show on. I know. I'm just saying we got to do a whole nother show right now.
I'm literally just filling right now. I was waiting for you to finish.
I kind of thought you were talking to your wife for a minute there. At first, I was like,
"No, I was just talking. I was just doing a quick recap of what we had thought of the show so far."
That was nuts.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was like, if they took that, sent it to ILM, cleaned it up just a little bit here and there, and if they plopped that in the middle of a new special edition, I'd be perfectly okay with that.
Yeah, I would too.
Because I just pulled up the guys who did it. So the director, Philip J. Silvera, he's a stuntman, and he worked on Daredevil, he worked on Deadpool, Terminator, Dark Fate, Pacific Rim, Uprising. That's not the great one. but he worked on Love, Death, and Robots. That's a fun show. And I thought it looked fantastic, and obviously just the energy and the action in that whole thing was amazing.
It was epic, absolutely epic. That was crazy good. That was crazy good.
Never look at that.
Especially at the at
You'll never look at that fight scene the same way.
well, no,
The
I mean
same.
it's hard to look at it the same way anyway, even after the prequels.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
After Rogue One, you're like, I can't look at that fight the same way because that's
right.
literally like 6 minutes after he just shredded everybody. Half the rebellion.
And you know what? I'm sorry, I just this popped into my head. This is not related to what we just saw, but what's up with these Skywalkers killing kids?
Love it. Love killing kids.
Well, this just became a whole new
This
podcast.
that went dark quick, but
That went really dark. I love it. But we just got done saying we hated
oh
it.
wait, wrong answer.
Yeah. Uh, hold on a moment, please. This might be for the surgery tomorrow.
All right, so and Adam has disappeared once again. So, um, I thought it was a bit of a letdown, and I thought it was a little bit. Now I don't want to say hokey, but there was a little bit of hokiness with, especially with the Rancor scene, where I'm like, why isn't the robot just shooting? Why isn't the giant robot shooting the Rancor? It was kind of one of those things where I'm like, why are it was fun because it was almost like a kaiju scene where you get to see like giant robots fighting giant monsters, which I always love. That's how I always love Transformers. People, giant robots fighting, and then people are. I remember went and saw. I think it's Transformers 2 in the theater, and like one of the people I went and saw it was like, yeah, but Megan Fox's pants wouldn't stay like white the entire time. I'm like, that's what you're taking out of this. You're taking not the giant fighting robots, but because Megan Fox's pants wouldn't stay white the entire time. Okay, so I mean, trust me, I looked at Megan Fox's pants too, but I did not care what color they were.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this right now about Megan Fox. Yes, she's a beautiful woman, and I don't care if she was ugly as sin. She likes Gen 13. She's okay with me.
That's right. And talk about a creepy story, like her early years, like how early they were trying to like objectify her and put her in movies. It's really freaking creepy. It's like, hey, Michael Bay, she was 15. Leave her alone.
15 and what?
In some of the movie, like he tried to put her like in sexual, like objectified positions early.
Well, okay, I understand what you mean by early, but like I didn't know she was in anything before Transformers.
No, well, she was in a few things here and there, but like overall, like I forget exactly how it went down, but it was basically like, no, we're not allowing this to happen. This girl's only this age. I forget exactly what where I was reading that or I saw the video for that, but it was pretty creepy. Where it's like, no, we're not. That's not happening, Michael Bay.
Good.
But anyway, so back to Star Wars. So we have the Rancor versus the Scorpion X. It was cool. But then again, like I said, we had our King Kong moment where I was like, oh, we're going King Kong. Okay, great, fantastic.
I mean, that was the only part I thought was really uncalled for. I mean, it was like a town in the old West having a shootout with another gang, another big gang. Yeah, that's what I took it as, and that's what I liked about it. I mean, at first when all the people from Freedom Town showed up, I was like, that's it. Then I was like, well,
Well,
wait a minute. Yeah, this is just a small, you
well,
know.
and that's the other thing. Okay, so and that was another one. Oh, is Timothy Olyphant's character gonna make it? Nope, no, he didn't. Okay, well
Well,
that's.
he's in that tank. He's in that healing tank.
Oh, is he in the healing tank? Is
Yeah,
he in the band?
that was well, and some other guys got him in there. I don't know who he is or if we saw him. I think he was, anyways. I think he might have been somebody we saw early on, or they're introducing a different character. but somebody's got him in one of those tanks that Boba Fett has.
I must have missed that because I was like, oh,
End
so
credit scene. That's a clip.
son of a bitch.
I must have missed that end credit scene.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. End credit scene. You can't trust
You can't.
stuff anymore.
I can't. You can't trust Disney. That's the end of the line.
Look, dude, I don't care if it was, let's say the movie Dances with Wolves never happened.
I mean,
okay?
Avatar.
No, yeah, that too. Same thing, I know. But let's just say Kevin Costner and the Dances with Wolves comes out next week. Because of all this shit in the last since 2008 with Iron Man and everybody, I'd be sitting through the credits going,
yeah.
Is there more movie? Because they want my money more.
Yeah, even the Disney movies, I was like, Disney movies, like, is there an end credit scene? No, I think there should be an end credit scene.
Not one end credit scene in the Disney or the DCEU, right?
No, but I guess that that mess all got wrapped up recently. The Warner Brothers merger and all that got cleaned up finally and settled.
Also, Discovery's got them now.
I don't know exactly how it shook out, but I know, and that'll be something that we'll talk about on the next podcast. Next
There's
Tuesday.
gonna be a lot of people out of jobs.
Always are when these giant corporations combine. There's a ton of people lose jobs, unfortunately. So
I'm not talking about the people like that we don't know their names. I'm talking about people who like Walter Hamada.
yeah.
Bye, Walt.
No, there's going to be a whole lot of people.
It's gonna be a regime change over there. Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll take a look at this DC stuff and say, what was wrong with Man of Steel?
Well, yeah.
What was wrong?
What was wrong with Zack Snyder?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. I mean, what was a little bit dark, sure, but still pretty good movies.
I'll tell you what they did. This is my theory. I'm gonna get off on a little bit of a little theory here. I don't think Snyder really I think he had a good vision to appease a kind of like a group of people, but to a bigger corporate audience. I don't think he wanted to do Batman v Superman. I really don't. I think he got into it when he did, and he did a great job, especially with the director's cut. The theatrical cut is trash, but I think he wanted to do Man of Steel too. I think that's It's just my theory.
Well, that's the thing too, because that's always the hardest part. The hardest part is getting the first movie off and getting it correct and setting things up for things later, which is what they did with Thor. They did Thor great, and then they followed up with Dark World, and we're like, well, that sucked. So and I really, especially with, like I said, the first movies, and especially whether it's a trilogy or just whatever it's going to be, they take so much time to make sure that everything's properly set up for them. That it can bog the story down a little bit, and then that's when you cut loose in the second movie and the third movie. That's when you can really start having fun. So, and it's just a shame that never got to happen.
Right. I mean, he was Superman for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
He was Superman for a day in that movie.
Essentially.
And then we get to Batman v Superman, and everybody loves him.
Yeah.
And that does make sense, but we didn't see why everybody liked it. Anyways, I like Batman v Superman. Once you watch I don't know if you've ever seen the director's cut, but it's really good. It's really good.
All right, Adam, do we have anything else to say about the Book of Boba Fett season 1?
I think we should each watch it again and have a conversation later.
Okay, we can do that. So, but other than that, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Like I said, once again, let's see here. Get my stuff in order here. So, once again, obviously, we are on YouTube here, so give us a like and subscribe. And thank you to everybody who has to all our subscribers so far. We love you. Thank you. And
We do.
and we are on social media. We are on Instagram and Facebook. So stopping by, leave us a message, or because that's where we're gonna let you know when we're be streaming next. Or like today, I put up a couple of clips from, or one clip from the show last night.
Great clip, by the way.
That was fun. So thought it was funny. So that's where you keep up to date on what we're doing. Like we mentioned earlier, the Motor City Comic Con is coming up in May. I forget exactly the days, but I think it's right around May 13th to the 15th.
Yeah, whatever that weekend is. That
Yeah, so
weekend before Memorial Day.
Yeah, so the middle of May there. So that'll be one of our big things that we're gonna definitely go. I want to try and do my best to go all 3 days. We'll see how that works out, but we will be there. And if you happen to be in the area and want to be at the Motor City Comic Con with us, that would be awesome. So, but other than that, Adam, I think it's time to wrap it up. Any last words? Forever hold your peace till next stream.
May the force be with you.
And also with you.
And with your spirit. All right.
So thank you. And you know what time it is? It's time to dance. Good night, everybody. Good night, America. Thank you.
Good night, Planet Houston.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Fatso.
Thanks.